cook turkey dinner with me. Oh, hey, how's it going out there? How y'all doing? Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad to see you there. We've got a special lineup tonight, let me tell you. What a wonderful evening it's been already so far. And it's only getting better, you know. And I guess only time will show. Something that rhymes with you know. Howdy, everybody. How y'all doing out there tonight? We got to get a roll call here. We've got, who's watching tonight? We've got Mark Colvin out there, Steven Singer. Welcome, Steven. Welcome to the train. Welcome aboard. Chicky's out there. Hey, Chicky. Mike Dougherty is out there. Mike Dougherty. We've got an extra special guest here tonight that we're going to introduce here in just a moment. Another Mike. If there was another Mike in the house, it would be a Mike party. Ooh, a Mike feast. How about that for Thanksgiving? Because we got Mike Steinbrecher out there. You know that, Mike. We've got Stephen Lord out there. We've got Steve Flacco out there. Tex Verdi's out there. Bobby McLeod's out there. Lisa Lerman's out there. Laura's out there. How's West Virginia treating you? We said Bobby's out there. Kathleen's on the train. Melissa's on the train. Michael Campanelli's on the train. Sarah Williams is out there. Tara's out there. Holy John Yates is out there. Everybody's here. Tara's out there. Well, without further ado, I'd like to say happy Thanksgiving to you and introduce a very, very near, dear, and friend of mine who is his first time on the train here. Whoops, I ought to back off of that. His first time streaming intentionally, I think. I think he's streamed before. You'll catch him at the Mermaid Inn any night that there's music playing there. You catch him at the Royal anytime that he's not at the Mermaid Inn, because there's always music playing at the Royal, or at the VFW, or you might even catch him here in the Shred Shed. Without further ado, though, let's drum roll. Thanks, Marty. Mike McNichol! Woo!
Hello. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to recite Alice's Restaurant.
I'm going to go over here.
Now, this song is called Alice's Restaurant, and it's about Alice and the restaurant. But Alice's Restaurant is not the name of the restaurant. That's just the name of the song, and that's why we call this song Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You just walk right in, it's around the back. It's just a half a mile from the railroad tracks. And you can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Now, it all started 2 Thanksgivings ago. It was on 2 years ago on Thanksgiving when my friend and I went up to visit Alice at the restaurant. But Alice doesn't live in the restaurant. She lives in the church nearby the restaurant, the bell tower, with her husband Ray and Fatcha the dog. And living in the bell tower like that, they got a lot of room downstairs where the pews used to be. And seeing as how they had all that room downstairs, they decided that they didn't have to take out their garbage for a long time. We got up there, we saw all the garbage hanging around. We decided it'd be a friendly gesture for us to take the half a ton of garbage down to the city dump. So we took the half a ton of garbage, put it in the back of a red VW microbus, took shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, and headed on towards the city dump. We got there, and there was a big sign and a chain across the dump saying closed on Thanksgiving, and we had never heard of a dump closed on Thanksgiving before, and with tears in our eyes, we drove off into the sunset looking for another place to put the pile of garbage. We didn't find one till we came to a side road, and off the side of the side road was a 15-foot cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff was another pile of garbage. We decided that one big pile was better than 2 little piles, and rather than bring that one up, we decided to throw ours down. That's what we did. Drove back to the church, had a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, went to sleep, and didn't get up until the next morning when we got a phone call from Officer Obie. Said, "Kid, we found your name on an envelope at the bottom of a half a ton of garbage, and we just wanted to know if you had any information about it." And I said, "Yes, sir, Officer Obie. I cannot tell a lie. I put that envelope under that garbage." And after speaking to Obie for about 45 minutes on the telephone, we finally arrived at the truth of the matter, and he said that we had to go down and pick up the garbage, also had to stop in and speak to him at the police officer station. Now, friends, there was only one or two things that Obie could have done at the police officer station. The first was that he could have given us a medal for being so brave and honest on the telephone, which wasn't very likely, and we didn't expect it. And another thing was that he could have bawled us out and told us never to be seen driving garbage around the vicinity again, which is what we expected. But when we got to the police officer station, there was a third possibility that we hadn't even counted upon, and we was both immediately arrested. Handcuffed. I said, Obie, I don't think I can pick up the garbage with these handcuffs on. He said, shut up, kid, get in the back of the patrol car. And that's what we did. We got in the back of the patrol car and we drove to the, quote, scene of the crime, unquote. Now, I want to tell you about the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts, where this happened here. They got 3 stop signs, 2 police officers, and 1 police car. But when we got to the scene of the crime, there was 5 police officers and 3 police cars, being the biggest crime of the last 50 years, and everybody wanted to get in a newspaper story about it. And they was using up all kinds of cop equipment that they had hanging around the police officer station. They took foot-smelling, dog-smelling prints, and they took 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. Took pictures of the approach, the getaway, the northwest corner, the southwest corner, and that's not to mention the aerial photography. After the ordeal, we went back to the jail. Obie says, I'm going to put you in the cell. He said, kid, I'm going to put you in the cell. I want your wallet and your belt. And I said, Obie, I can understand you want my wallet, so I don't have any money to spend in the cell. But he said, what do you want my belt for? And he said, kid, we don't want any hangings. I said, Obie, did you think I was going to hang myself for littering? Obie said he was just making sure, and friends Obie was, because he took out the toilet seat so I couldn't hit myself over the head and drown. And he took out the toilet paper so I couldn't bend the bars, roll the toilet paper out the window, slide down the roll, and have an escape. Obie was making sure, and it was about 4 or 5 hours later that Alice, remember Alice? Alice came by with a few nasty words for Obie on the side, bailed us out of jail. We went back to the church, had another Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, went to sleep, and didn't get up till the next morning when we all had to go to court. We walked in, sat down. Obie came in with his 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us, and he sat down. A man came in, said, all rise, and we stood up. Obie stood up with his 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one, and the judge came in with the CNI dog, and he sat down, and we sat down, and Obie looked at the CNI dog, and then he looked at the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us, and Obie began to cry because he came to the realization that this was a typical case of American blind justice, and the judge wasn't going to look at the 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us, and we was fined $50 and had to go down and pick up the garbage in the snow. But that's not what I came to talk about. Came to talk about the draft. They got a building in New York City on Whitehall Street where you walk in, you get injected, infected, detected, infected, neglected, and selected. I went up to get my physical examination one day, and I walked in, sat down. Got good and drunk the night before, so I looked and felt my best when I went in that morning because I wanted to look like the all-American kid from New York City, man. I wanted to feel like the all-American. I wanted to be the all-American kid from New York, and I walked in, sat down. I was hung down, brung down, hung up, and all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly things. I walked in, I sat down. He said, kid, see the psychiatrist room 604. And I went up there. I said, shrink, I want to kill. I want to kill. I want to see blood and gore and guts and veins in my teeth. Eat dead, burnt bodies. I mean, kill, kill, kill. And I started jumping up and down, yelling, kill, kill, kill. And he started jumping up and down with me. We was both jumping up and down, yelling, kill, 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 till the sergeant came over, pinned a medal on me, sent me down the hall, said, you're our boy. Well, I didn't feel too good about that, but I proceeded through there, going through all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly things. And I was there for a long time. I was there for 2 hours and 3 hours and 4 hours, 5 hours. I was there for a long time going through all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly things. And they was inspecting, injecting every single part of me, and they was leaving no part untouched. But I proceeded through there, and everything was fine until I finally came up to the very last man. I walked in, I sat down, I said, what do you want? He said, kid, we only have one question. Have you ever been arrested? And I proceeded to tell him the story of the Alice's Restaurant Massacre with the full orchestration, the 5-part harmony, and all the phenomena. He stopped me right there and said, "Kid, did you ever go to court?" So I proceeded to tell him the story of the 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on it. He stopped me right there and said, "Kid, I want you to go over and sit down on that bench that says Group W on it." Now, kid, I walked over to the bench there, and there's Group W is where they put you if you may not be moral enough to join the Army after committing your special crime there. And there was all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly-looking people on the bench there. There's mother rapers and father stabbers and father rapers. Father rapers sitting right there on the bench next to me, and there was mean and nasty, hairy eyeball and the meanest father raper of them all, the meanest, ugliest father raper of them all was coming over to me. And he walked right up to me, and he sat right down next to me on the bench, and he said, "Kid, what were you arrested for?" And I said, "Littering." And they all moved away from me on the bench there with their hairy eyeballs and all, till I said, "And creating a nuisance." And they all came back, shook my hand, and we had a great time on the bench talking about crime, mother stabbing, father rape, and everything. And everything was fine. We were smoking cigarettes and all kinds of things, and everything was fine till the sergeant came over, had some paper in his hand, held it up, and said, "Kids, this piece of paper's got 47 sentences, 38 words. We want to know deep down about the crime, mother, and God said." And he talked for 45 minutes, and nobody understood a word that he said, but we had fun playing with the forms and filling out the pencils on the bench there, and everything was fine there. And I wrote down the massacre just like it was, and everything was fine. So I put down my pencil, and I turned over my piece of paper, and there on the other side, in the middle of the other side, away from everything else on the other side, in capital letters and quotated parentheses, read the following words. It said, "Kid, have you rehabilitated yourself?" And I went over to the sergeant and said, "Sergeant, you got a lot of damn gall to ask me if I've rehabilitated myself. I mean, I'm sitting here on the bench. I'm sitting here on the Group W bench because you want to know if I'm moral enough to join the Army and burn women, kids, houses, and villages after being a litter bug." And he looked at me and said, "Kid, we don't like your kind, and we're going to send your fingerprints off to Washington. And friends, somewhere in Washington, enshrined in some little folder is a study in black and white of my fingerprints. And the only reason I'm singing this song now is because you may know somebody in a similar situation, or you may be in a similar situation. And if you're in a situation like that, there's only one thing you can do, is to walk into the shrink. Wherever you are, you just walk in, you say, 'Shrink, you can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant,' and walk out. Now, if just one person does it, they may think he's really sick, and they won't take him. And if two people, can you imagine two people walking in, singing a bar at Alice's Restaurant and walking out? They'll think they're both crazy, and they won't take them. And if three people, can you imagine three people walking in, singing a bar at Alice's Restaurant and walking out, then friends, they may think it's an organization. And can you imagine 50 people, I said 50 people a day, walking in, singing a bar at Alice's Restaurant and walking out, then friends, they may think it's a movement. And that's what it is. The entire Alice's Restaurant Massacre movement, and all you got to do to join is to sing it the next time it comes around on the guitar with feeling. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You just walk right in, it's around the back. It's just a half a mile from the railroad tracks. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Now that was horrible. If you want to end war and stuff, you got to sing loud.
Louder, yeah.
I've been singing this song now for 25 minutes. I could sing it for another 25 minutes. I'm not proud. We're tired.
Yeah, but you should sing it with us. What do you think?
Right, so we're just going to wait till it comes around on the guitar, and this time with 4-part harmony and feeling, all right?
All right, with the 4 parts.
You let me know. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You just walk right in, it's around the back. It's just a half a mile from the railroad tracks. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. La da 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 da. At Alice's Restaurant. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Yes, yes.
Thank you. What an honor it is.
Thank you, Arlo Guthrie. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Have some turkey and peace and love to everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arlo Guthrie. Thanks, folks.
Well,
Thank you, Shane.
Let's thank Mike for coming on, and let's check our time here. Ooh, we've got 12 minutes. I wonder if we might be able to come up with 12 minutes worth of music. What do you think here?
I think we might have 12 minutes.
We would say this is an improvised set, but you know it is and it isn't. What do you say we do souvenirs?
Okay.
Let's do that. We'll call that one right there. I hope I got a calculator here because if I don't, the rule is if you lose your calculator or let somebody steal your calculator, you got to sing Wagon Wheel. So we don't lose we don't lose capos in this house.
Wagon Wheel, don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong, but we're not trying to sing that one tonight. We got a priner right here. We got a bunch of priners right here, thanks to this and thanks to Prine. So we're gonna do Souvenirs by John Prine, and that string's gonna buzz a little bit, and we'll do it in G. And how do we want to split it up?
All the snow is turned to water.
You got that part?
Christmas days have come and gone. Broken toys and faded colors. All that's left to linger on. I hate graveyards and old pawn shops, for they always bring me tears. Can't forgive the way they rob me of my childhood souvenirs. Memories can't be bought in. It can't be won. The carnival's free. It took me years to get those souvenirs, and I don't know how they slipped away from me. And dirty windows make life difficult to see. That's why last night and this morning you always look the same to me. I hate reading old love letters, 'cause they always bring me tears. Can't forgive the way they rob me of my sweetheart souvenirs. These memories that can't be bought in, they can't be won at carnivals for free. It took me years to get those souvenirs, and I don't know how they slipped away from me.
Well,
Beautiful.
thanks everybody for turning out. Let's do our time. We got 7 minutes. That's a good enough time for a roll call. Let's skip out of the comments section and come up to the Hobnoble post here. Thank you, everybody, for participating in this. Kevin Curran started us out tonight at 5. Deb Seymour, I'm glad the audio issue got figured out there. Thank you. Carmeg DeForest, thanks for joining us on a first Monday, I think it was. Esol, always a pleasure. Frank, Walkopedia, and then Stephen Lord, Richard Hopkinson. You've met Richard before at the Mermaid, at the VFW. Yeah.
Okay.
And Lisa Lerman, fantastic set. Matilda said goodnight. Ari, thank you, fantastic set.
Not Ari yet.
Big fans of Ari here. Fisher, awesome set. Thanks for joining us. Mark Colvin is up next. Logan Beebe is on at 11:30. Chris Ryan coming in from Louisville, Kentucky at midnight. And then Bobby McLeod got the caboose spot at the moment. And who knows, Zinzuni might be sharing Guadalajara with us at 1 o'clock. So we'll see. We'll see about that. And Kathy Doyle, thanks for the lead on that, Kathy. And Laura, okay, and we've lost all the comments before that. Melissa's on the train here. So I think we should have a Mike do whatever, a song of his choice.
All right,
You want Marty?
Yeah, I just want to do one of my favorite songs ever is a Robert Hunter song from.
Do you want?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll do this and then you do one.
Okay.
I'll do one together. From this album called Tales of the Great Rum Runners. I think it's Robert Hunter's first album after the, when he started doing his own thing. And I just love the song. So, and we always close shows at the Mermaid with this song. Does God look down on the boys in the barroom, mainly forsaken but surely not judged? Jacks, kings, and aces, their faces in wine. Do Lord deliver our kind from singing for whiskey, 3 strings on the fiddle, for on the guitar it's a song that I love. Many is the night we spent picking and singing in hopes it be pleasing both here and above. Jack, string fiddle, tune us all to the bar. Who loves loneliness, loves it alone. But I love the dim lights like some love the dew. The only thing I wonder sometimes is, does God look down on the boys in the barroom, mainly forsaken but surely not judged? Jacks, kings, and aces, their faces in wine. Do Lord deliver our kind. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
Honored to be on the Shane train here. Let's go out with a Shane song.
All right.
And
Well,
it's something I know I'll sing along. If not, I'll just
let's
hang out
see.
and smile.
I'm just. What songs do I know that you know? If I could just do
Just do one of your favorite songs, also.
one of my favorite songs. Oh God, there are so many of them.
Right here. Right here.
It's the Cabo that.
Right here.
Oh, phew.
I'm a good assistant, aren't I? Yes. So if I know, I'll sing it. If not, don't worry, man. Just
You know this one, and perfect. And I just warmed it up with Matilda earlier tonight. Blue Umbrella.
Oh yeah. Yes. You do the lead, I'll sing along.
Feelings strange, especially when they come true. I had a feeling that you'd be leaving soon. Tried to rearrange all my emotions, but it seemed the same no matter what I do. The umbrella rests upon my shoulder. The pain and rain makes out my mind. Feet are wet from thinking this thing over, and it's been so long since I felt the warm sunshine. Just give me one good reason, when I promise
Daytime makes me wonder why she left me. Nighttime makes me wonder what I've said. Next time all those words I like plan on. The last time is the only thing she said.
Blue umbrella rests upon my shoulder. In an house of pain while the rain makes up my mind. Yeah, my feet are wet from thinking this thing over. It's been so long since I felt the warm sunshine. Just give me one good reason, and I promise I won't ask you anymore. Just give me one extra season, so I can figure out the other four again. Just give me one good reason, and I promise I won't ask you anymore. Just give me one extra season, so I can figure out the other four. 'Cause I'd like to figure out the other four. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you,
folks.
everybody. Thank you so much, Mike, for coming out. Thank y'all for participating in this madness every Monday, for coming up on 2 years straight, and for dealing with all our madness. Next up is Mark Colvin, Logan Beebe, Chris Ryan, and then Bobby McLeod. And we don't want to miss it when Bobby goes down the rabbit hole, the hobnobble gobble rabbit hole. Thank y'all and happy Thanksgiving. And I'm trying to convince the family to do a Thanksgiving set, post dinner set, no cleanup or whatever. We just get up and sing. So look for it, okay? All right. Peace. Love you guys. I'm going to turn it off here and not there. Love y'all.